Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock on Tuesday, which means it's time for a Magic News. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys have had a really good week so far, and I hope you enjoyed the 555 yesterday. Now, if you've never seen a Magic News before, the idea is very simple. I take all of the news that's happened over the course of the week, and I just present it to you. Now, there is an absolute metric ton of news that's coming up on this episode today. It has been a busy news week. Now, if you have any news that you want me to share on this channel, all you simply have to do is let me know and I will share it for you next Tuesday. We do the Magic News every single Tuesday. Sorry, I'm not filming this in my normal studio. It's very early in the morning. It's 5 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday. I've left this till the very last minute. I have had a ridiculously busy week, and if I don't film this now, it's not going to get filmed. But I didn't want to let you guys down, so here we are with this week's Magic News. There's a lot to get into, so let's get to it. Okay, so in one of the biggest pieces of news that's happened for a while, Daniel Madison has quit Magic. That's right, Daniel Madison has quit Magic. Now, in all honesty with you, whether this sticks or not, I don't know. I honestly, I think Magic at some points is a little bit like wrestling. I'm a huge wrestling fan, and the amount of times I've seen a wrestler say, I'm retiring, and then come back like 6 months later. I have seen a lot of magicians say they're leaving Magic, they're done, they're never going to be involved in Magic again. And then a few months later, they're releasing Magic, and they're continuing to talk about Magic. But for now, Daniel Madison has quit Magic. Now, this is big news because Daniel is one of the biggest names in Magic, has been for a while. His YouTube channel is a huge success. He's released tons of Magic over the years. He's worked with companies like Illusionist, as well as releasing decks of cards and performing all over the place. But basically, he put a 10-minute video up on his YouTube channel saying that he's quit Magic. He kind of made an analogy. He said sometimes it's better to, realize that you've walked into the wrong room and, leave the room than stay in there forever. And he feels like he's stayed in the wrong room. He feels like he's been doing Magic for 30 years or so, or whatever, however long it's been. He's been doing Magic for a long time, and he feels like that's not his calling. And so he made a video saying that his journey in Magic is effectively over. He said he's releasing two more products. He's releasing the Magic Manifesto, which is a book all about his philosophy on Magic and the performance of Magic, and then he's bringing out another book called Repertoire, which is his most closely guarded Magic effects. But then he's leaving after he's also brought out 2 new decks of cards that he's been wanting to produce forever. And he does talk about how, even though he's gone, he's still going to produce playing cards and he's never going to put cards down. But effectively, he kind of describes himself as not a magician. He's like, I've come to the realization that I'm not a magician and I can't do this anymore, which is very, very sad. Because he is a magician. If he wasn't a magician, he wouldn't be bringing out a Magic book on the performance of Magic. But I understand, I know where he's been. I've wanted to not quit Magic, but I've wanted to quit YouTube a couple of times. It's really, it can be really difficult sometimes. I've talked about this on the channel before, but it can be very, very difficult, especially when you're in the public eye, like Madison is. And so, yeah, unfortunately, if you're a fan of Madison, if you're a fan of his YouTube channel, he's not going to be around any longer. He says that when he's figured out what he wants to do, he can't wait to share that with the world. And he's an artist, and being an artist, he was going to find a new way to share with his audience whatever it is that he does next, but he doesn't know what that is. But if you do want to pick up the last few bits of Daniel Madison material, that's coming out very, very soon. I suppose you can check his YouTube channel out for that and watch the video. But unfortunately, Daniel Madison has quit Magic. He is leaving the room. Okay, so from slightly depressing news to something that's incredibly exciting and uplifting, and this news comes from the Magic Alon Society. Now, if you don't know who the Magic Alon Society is, it's the largest society, it's the largest community in Magic. It's hosted or the person basically in charge is Magic Alon, who I've interviewed on this channel, an incredible young man and a great performer, and he really cares about making magic and the magic community the best it can be. And he does an incredible job. Well, last year, the Magic Alon Society had a creativity challenge where they had people like me and David Jonathan and Kyle Purnell kind of virtually mentor the members of the Magic Alon Society and encourage them to be more creative. It was a huge success, and so they're doing it again, but they're making it even better and even bigger. So the Creativity Challenge launches on the 25th of October at 7 p.m. UK time, and Magic Alon himself is having a launch party on his YouTube channel. So if you tune into his YouTube channel on the 25th of October at 7 p.m, you're going to see the launch party. Now, they are going to be launching a free app that you can use with the challenge that's going to allow you to be more creative, and it's going to allow you to create random scenarios that you can use to create. And they've got some incredible names lined up to help with the challenge. First of all, they've got Ben Williams, who I consider to be one of the most creative magicians on the planet. You've got John Morton, who is also an incredibly creative magician and a very good friend of mine. You have Mark Bennett. We've spoke about Mark Bennett on this channel an awful lot. Mark is a legend in this community and has mentored hundreds of magicians and taught them how to become better performers. And finally, Adam Dadswell, who in the last couple of years has really made a name for himself as a creator and a performer. You're going to have weekly Zoom sessions that are going to help you keep on track. You're going to have a WhatsApp accountability group that you can be a part of, and lots more. One of the reasons I set up my channel was to try and encourage people to be more creative. I think that everybody can be creative in magic. Everybody can be creative. It's not some exclusive thing that only a few people can do. I think everybody's got an incredible idea, or at least one in them. And this is a fantastic way to try and access your inner creator. So I'm very excited that Alon is doing this. I'm very, very excited that he's doing it again and he's leveled up. So if you want to be involved in the Creativity Challenge, simply all you have to do is go over, join the Magic Alon Society, go over to his YouTube channel. The launch party will be there. And I think that if you do, I think it's going to really help you from a creativity point of view. Okay, so I'll probably do a proper video on this at some point in the next week. But I just want to tell you, I have come back from this weekend being at the South Tyneside Magic Convention. And I just want to say congratulations to everyone that put it together. It was a great convention. You had people lecturing there like Ruby, you had people like Ben Hart, you had people like Jeki, you had Alex Jessen from Matrix, who did a fantastic lecture all about his story and what you can learn as a close-up magician from being an illusionist, which I thought was a fantastic, really inspiring lecture. And then you had two shows in the evening. You had the gala show and you had the family show, and the shows were great. I have to be honest, and maybe it's because I love illusion acts, but from my point of view, although everybody was very, very good, Matrix were the star of the show. Matrix Illusion were the star of the show. They did two sets, one on the Friday night, one on the Saturday night. Both sets ran about 25 minutes to half an hour. No material was repeated. Then Alex did another illusion in his lecture, close up, right in front of people. I know they bought two massive vans to come along to that convention. Honestly, although the entire convention was great, Matrix and Alex Jessen and his team and Kelsey, they definitely were the highlight of the convention for me, and I'm very, very glad I went along, if only to see Matrix. But congratulations to the entire team that organised it. I'll put probably a video together soon in the next week. But yeah, South Tyneside was a huge success. Obviously on the Sunday you had Illusion going along at the same time. I wasn't there, I can't comment, but from the photos that I've seen online, that looked amazing as well. So I'm sure that both conventions will be around again next year, so you want to go and check them out. Okay, just so you know, if you are under the age of 18 and you're in the UK, you might want to consider joining the YMC, the Young Magicians Club. Because honestly, I don't think people realise how amazing the YMC is. I don't think they promote themselves as well as they could. The YMC is the junior initiative of the Magic Circle. They meet once a month at the Magic Circle headquarters, and they have monthly competitions, they have lectures. They get some of the best lectures in the world coming along and lecturing. It's a fantastic group, and it costs almost nothing to be a part of it. And even if you aren't based in London or can't get to London on the dates that the meetings happen, you can join virtually over Zoom. So it's great. The YMC is fantastic. The reason I bring that up is because this Sunday you have J Day. Now, J Day is the Young Magicians Club's own convention, and honestly, if tickets were available to the general public to this convention, it would be a huge success. It takes place at the Magic Circle headquarters. This year, they've got 2 big lectures. They've got Jeki and they've got Lloyd Barnes. And as well as that, you've got the finals of the Stage Magician, the Young Magician of the Year stage competition and the Young Magician of the Year close-up competition. The standard of the acts in those competitions are great. If you know Jess and the Jessomentary, she's in the finals of the stage competition. Ryland and Thea as Magic and Mischief, they're in the finals. There's some great people that are part of the Young Magicians Club. There's some great people that attend. There's some great people, some great performers, some real creativity there. And J Day's fantastic. They're going to have a gala show, and it's amazing. It's amazing. J Day is super cool. They've even got dealers. I've got a dealer stand there. Right, it's great. So if anybody who is under the age of 18 and they want to join a magic convention or a magic society, really look into the Young Magicians Club. I've been very, very impressed with it, and I will tell you, I sat down and chatted to my friend Lloyd Barnes the other day, and he showed me what he was going to be sharing in his lecture at the at J Day, and it blew my mind. He's got a trick with an elephant. I'm not going to say anything else, but it's a trick with an elephant that just rocked me to the core. I had no idea how it was done. It was just awesome. And he's got a version of his iconic Acme portable hole that I believe will fool every single person who sees it, because it's just insane. I mean, Lloyd is operating at God mode right now in terms of his creativity, and I think that the people that are going to be at J Day this Sunday, they are going to be in for a huge treat. Very, very quickly, talking about Ryan and Thea, my kids, talking about Magic and Mischief. If people want a chance to see them perform and me perform as well, we're going to be in Blackpool at the House of Secrets from next Monday all the way through to the Friday. So 5-day run. They're going to be at the House of Secrets, and then on Friday they're going to be at the Tower Ballroom in Blackpool as well. They're going to be doing a smaller illusion show in the House of Secrets, and they're going to be doing their big illusion show in the Tower Ballroom. So if you're around in Blackpool and you want to come and watch them, and you want to watch me, I'll be doing Close Up with Thea as well, then come along to the House of Secrets, come along to Blackpool, come along to the Tower Ballroom, and come and say hi. Okay, couple of notices about conventions next year. First of all, I have been reliably informed that the Alakazam convention, which is taking place on the 9th of May 2026, is almost sold out. There are not many tickets left at all. They can't sell infinite tickets because it's taking place in a theatre, in a cinema. Because it's taking place in a cinema, everyone has allocated seating. The benefit to that is it's tiered seating. It's going to be an incredible experience for anybody that's going. The disadvantage is, they're limited on the amount of tickets that they can sell, and I believe that tickets are running out and there's not many left. So they're still available at the moment on the Alakazam website. If you want to come along and attend, it's the 9th of May. They have already announced that Mark Spellman is going to be lecturing and Mark Spellman is going to be performing. It's going to be a fantastic convention. Make sure you check it out if you can. Another convention that I want to shout out is Magicon, which is taking place in Germany from the 21st to the 23rd of May 2026. And I'm very excited that I'm going to actually be part of this convention. Now, I'm coming along and I'm doing a lecture, and I'm writing a lecture specifically for this convention with a bunch of material that I'll never perform again, and I've never performed before. Well, I've performed it before, but I've never published it, if that makes sense. And it'll never be repeated. So It's going to be something very, very special. And it's taking place, as I say, from the 21st to the 23rd of May. It's called MagicCon in Germany. If you just Google MagicCon in Germany, you'll be able to get the link and you can go along, and it promises to be a fantastic lineup. So, yeah, things are taking place with conventions in 2026. So you want to look out for everything that's coming along. Talking about conventions in 2026, last week we talked about how Blackpool Magic Convention was starting to announce names, and they were starting to announce people that were coming to the convention, their star names. Almost every single day they're announcing a new name. We've got a few new names since last week's Magic News, and the lineup continues to get better and better and better. They have announced Aaron Jones is going to be attending with his show. Aaron Jones is an incredible magician, and his act, if you've seen it, is just unique, doesn't even do it justice. Adrian Vega is going to be attending. Adrian Vega has released, I think, about 1 million magic tricks in the last week, at least as a reviewer. That's what it feels like. He's releasing magic all of the time, and all of it is strong, all of it is really well thought out. He's going to have a fantastic lecture. You've got Caroline Raven, who has been really helping a lot of magicians recently from a business point of view. She's been doing the circuit and talking to people about how to increase business, increase bookings. So she's going to be coming along and doing a very interesting lecture. You're going to have Dana Daniels. I don't really know much about Dana Daniels, which makes me very, very excited to see what's going on there. But Dana Daniels is going to be attending. Charlie Caper, who I think a lot of people would say is one of their favourite magicians of all time. He was a highlight for me at the last London Magic Convention. Charlie Caper is going to be coming along, and I couldn't be more excited. I think that's going to be the sleeper hit of the convention, in my opinion. Chris Capehart has been announced. Chris Capehart is, I personally think Chris has got one of the best linking ring routines of all time, one of the best Miser's Dream routines of all time, a consummate professional, a true pro, and somebody who, if you've never seen him before, you're going to walk away with a huge smile on your face, and you're going to have learned an awful lot as well. Alexandra Duivier, who is obviously Dominic Duivier's daughter, she's going to be coming along and has built up a huge name for herself over the last few years. And then finally, Artem Shukuchin, excuse me, who is a very, very highly regarded mentalist, and I unfortunately am not too much aware of his material, so I'm going to be very excited about that as well. So there you go, the lineup is starting to take place. Blackpool is going to be bigger than ever before this year, and I cannot wait to be a part of it. Okay, next up, I want to give you a little bit of a sneak peek. Now, I haven't been told I can tell you this by Alakazam, so I'm probably going to get in big trouble. But, you know, my attitude is it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. But I know the long-awaited Poison 2 by Nicholas Mavresis has, people have been waiting for it for a long time. So if you don't know, a few years ago, Nicholas released Poison to the Magic community, and it was very, very, very well received. It's an incredible effect. Poison 2 was promised, and people have been waiting years for Poison 2. It's coming very, very soon. It's coming very, very soon. I know that it's in the warehouse. I know that the tutorial is done, and I know that it's ready pretty much. And the reason I know that is because I've been asked by Alakazam to do the trailer for this. So I have, over the last few weeks, been learning the routines from Poison 2, and I've been going out and getting live performance footage. And, last night I was out in Birmingham with Nemid, getting live performance footage. It's one of the reasons I'm so tired. I'm doing this at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and we're out till midnight getting live performance footage. But we had people in bars screaming and running away from this material. Imagine having a gaffed deck, but specifically for your poison cards. That's exactly what we have here. It is absolutely amazing. There's one particular sandwich routine in there that's great. Now, Wayne Goodman is part of the project along with Nicholas Mavresis. I'm not on it at all. I'm just doing the trailer. But I had to watch the whole thing in order to do the trailer. And Nicholas presents some great ideas. He's got a few friends that come along with him and present some amazing ideas with various different cards. And then Wayne basically delivers a masterclass, a legendary, absolutely legendary selection of routines. He was 100% the right person for the job. There's some routines that Wayne teaches with this deck that I will 100% be using forever. This is incredible. It's rare. I was doing the pitch yesterday. You know, when you do a trailer, you create the pitch, right? That's part of the thing. And I was doing the pitch yesterday. I actually commented in the pitch. I actually said, you know, there's a lot of tricks in Magic that have version 2.0s, and most of them, they're just a rehash of the theme. You know, it's a very small improvement. And most sequels in Magic are more Ghostbusters 2 than Godfather 2, right? If you know what I mean. But this is a genuine sequel that I'm so glad was made. This is great. So it's coming soon from Alakazam. The other thing that I'm going to give you a heads up on is Eye Stretch is coming very soon as well. I know I've been promising this for 3 years, and for a variety of different reasons, it's not actually happened yet. But Eye Stretch is coming very, very soon. So Eye Stretch is coming soon. Poison 2 is coming very soon. And there's some incredible magic coming from Alakazam this year. So there you go. Poison 2 and Eye Stretch coming very, very soon. Just a quick shout out to Eric Tate on the Penguin podcast. I jumped on the Penguin podcast with Eric last week, and it's a fantastic podcast. I shared, you know, we talked about my kids, we talked about illusion shows, we talked about upcoming releases with Penguin, we talked about my travel issues with Magic Live, we talked about a whole bunch of stuff. But I have to give a shout out to Eric, because Eric is a fantastic host, and his podcast and the Penguin podcast is brilliant. He has this ability to keep people on track and make it very, very succinct and entertaining and not waffly, which is something I really appreciate, because I can get waffly. So, you know, the episode was great. It's up on Spotify and all your favourite podcasting platforms now. But just a shout out to Eric Tate and specifically the Penguin podcast, because honestly, it's so good. That's all I've got to say about that. I've been sharing videos recently of Ryland and Thea performing various different tricks and illusions from Smoky Mountain Magic. And their illusion show has a few different Smoky Mountain tricks in them. In fact, I'm planning soon on doing a Smoky Mountain review show special. And a lot of people have said to me, oh, that's amazing, I'd love to do that trick. And then they look on Smoky Mountain and the price to get it over here is astronomical because of shippings and taxes and tariffs and God knows what. Just so you guys know, because I don't think it's actually been, people have been made aware of this. Tricked Magic. Now, Tricked is the magic shop that's owned by Alexander Jessen from Matrix Magic that we spoke about earlier. Tricked Magic are the official UK seller of Smoky Mountain Magic. So they have everything in, or can get everything off the website that Smoky Mountain produce. So Thea is working on her own solo show, and we've just put together a really cool Dippy Duck routine. And the original Dippy Duck, the one that everyone buys, it's kind of hit and miss. It's not always 100%. And Smoky Mountain have just released a Dippy Duck that is incredible. It's got a magnetic blindfold in. It's 100% works every single time. I got that from Tricked. I got that from Alexander Jessen. I didn't wait for it to come in from Smoky Mountain. I got it from Alexander Jessen. So if you are looking for some Smoky Mountain products, you might want to check out the Tricked Magic website because it's great. Okay, you guys are going to be watching this on Tuesday, so one last shout out. Tomorrow, the 22nd of October, 2025, Jeki U is going to be doing the Alakazam Academy live. Now, the reason I tell you that is because you want to go and see that. Having seen Jeki's lecture at the South Tyneside convention and knowing what he's capable of, I think this is going to be one of the best academies of all time. So I don't know if he's going to do this again, so it might be a one-off, but if you've got time, 22nd of October, Jeki U on the Alakazam Academy, it's definitely worth checking out because Jeki is amazing. Talking about magic conventions, and I'm probably going to make a separate video about this at some point, but there's a problem with a lot of magic conventions at the moment, and I'm not really 100% sure how to fix it. I've got ideas. I've been to a lot of magic conventions recently. I went to the IBM specifically, the IBM convention. Brilliant convention. Really, really, really good. Some great stuff going on there. And I went to the South Tyneside convention. Again, really great convention. I had an absolute blast at the South Tyneside convention this weekend, as did Ryland and Thea, who went with me. And you know, outside of bigger conventions like Blackpool and FISM and the Session Magic Convention and a few others, the majority of conventions that I'm seeing these days just aren't getting the sort of numbers that they used to. Like the IBM was very, very quiet, despite having the stage competition and having great shows and lectures and so on and so forth. And the South Tyneside convention had less than 100 people in attendance. Less than 100 people in attendance. When you've got people like Ben Hart on the bill, when you've got people like Matrix on the bill, when you've got a show from Insane Magic that everyone's talking about at the moment, when you've got all these different things that are going on and just a stellar lineup that Blackpool would be proud of, they had less than 100 people. And what I'm finding these days is that less people are going out to conventions. And I'm not 100% sure why it is. I think I know part of the problem. Part of the problem is these smaller conventions that used to do bigger numbers. Like I remember South Tyneside doing hundreds of people would come to the South Tyneside convention. And the IBN is another example. They all seem to be, the attendees tend to be older people. They tend to be people that are older, like 40 plus, 50 plus, 60 plus, 70 plus. You don't see many young people coming to the convention. I think when I was at South Tyneside, there were a couple, 2 or 3 when I was at the IBM. I think that I was the youngest person there, which is just ridiculous. But you don't see many young people going to these conventions these days, and I'm not too sure why. Because the lineup's great. You know, Ben Hart is a big pull. Jeki U is a big pull. You know, people like that are a big pull, and yet nobody's attending, or completely less people than ever before attending. And what's going to happen is these conventions are going to die out. And I think what needs to happen is magic conventions in the UK. I'm not speaking about abroad because I've got no frame of reference outside of Magic Live, which is a big convention and attracts a lot of people. But outside of Magic Live, I've got no frame of reference in the US. But over here in the UK, I can very confidently say these conventions are going to die out if we don't get more people attending, because there's lots of magic. There's lots of people getting into magic all of the time. There's new people getting into magic daily. I know because they comment on my YouTube channel. I know that magic is very popular. People are buying magic. It's why so many magic producers and magic dealers are popping up almost on a weekly basis. I know from the sales figures that I see that people are definitely buying magic. People are shopping online. You look at somewhere like the Magic Alon Society with thousands of members, and they announce something like the Creativity Challenge. That's going to be a huge success. You look at the YMC, and, when I go to the YMC and I pick Ryan and Thea up when they've been there all day, I can't believe the amount of young magicians that are coming out of that building. Like, there's people into magic. That's not the issue. The issue is getting anybody under the age of 90 to attend these conventions. Because the reason I think that people are dropping off and the numbers are going down and down and down is people are dying. I talked about this when I talked about the IBM. In the sort of the closing remarks on the gala show. They were talking about how many people had died from last year. Like, that's not a thing that we should ever talk about at a convention, because at least. I'm not saying that we don't honour the people that are no longer there, but like you wouldn't see that at Blackpool, wouldn't you? You wouldn't go, "Oh, Bob's not here, he died." It's going to happen, but there's thousands of people at Blackpool. I think that these conventions need to do 2 things. I think, first of all, they need to find something that niches them down. They need to find something that is their thing. And I think that's very important, because at the moment all the magic conventions are the same thing. We've got dealers, and it's always the same dealers. It's always the same dealers. We've got dealers. We've got lecturers, and it's always 2 or 3 lecturers, and sometimes it's the same lecturers, sometimes it's different. The format is the same. We've got dealers, we've got lecturers. If it's big enough, we've got a gala show. And that's it. But there needs to be more. There really does need to be something. And I don't really have the answer to it, but there needs to be something. And the other thing that needs to happen is that young magicians need to be incentivized to come to the conventions like this. Session have got it right. There's a lot of young magicians that go to the Session Magic Convention. And one of the reasons is Vanishing Ink give away scholarships. They give away free tickets to the session so that the kids can come along. Young magicians are the lifeblood of this industry, and they are the future of this industry. And you get a young magician there, they're probably going to bring their family as well. If Ryan and Thea want to go to a convention, I'm going to go. Sarah's probably going to go. You're going to sell like 4 or 5 tickets just because my kids want to go to that magic convention, right? And it's the same with every single one of these magic conventions. If you can get young magicians there, the numbers are going to go up. They really are. But it's like a lot of conventions, they don't even try to get kids there. It's not marketed towards kids. But you know what? It's the young magicians that are the most creative that are putting, I go and look at the level of magic at the Young Magicians Club. And okay, this is going to be a controversial statement, but I'm going to say it. As much as I loved the stage competition at the IBM, and I did, and everyone did a great job, and I'm a huge, huge fan of Raymond and Cannon. I really am. They did a great job. They won, and deservedly so. But the overall quality of the competition at the YMC, I guarantee you it will be better. I guarantee you it will be better. It will be much, much better than the stage competition because the kids put the time in and they put the effort in, and they're not just going out and presenting their act. They're putting something completely unique together that they might only use just for that one piece. The young magicians of the future, they really are. And I think magic clubs magic conventions need to find a way to attract them, because that's going to really help, I think, with conventions and with attendance. There's nowhere really for young magicians to compete outside of the magic circle. But if you're not a member of the YMC, back in the day, I remember back in the day when I was younger, there used to be junior competitions and J-Days and God knows all over the place. You don't see that anymore, and yet young people are getting into magic more than ever before. People need to leverage the internet. They need to leverage digital marketing. They need to treat these conventions like a business and actually market them and give people a reason to give a shit about them, because at the moment it's very easy to miss. As amazing as the South Tyneside convention was, the website, buying the tickets online is a nightmare. The website is clunky, and the marketing for the whole thing could have been a lot better. You need to give a reason for people to go, not just say, come along and see this lecture, because people could go and see it online. If I want to go and see Jeki, I can go see him at Alakazam tomorrow from the comfort of my own living room. I don't need to trek all the way up to South Tyneside. So why should I trek up to South Tyneside? What's my reason? You don't want to just sell the names that are going to be there. You want to sell everything else. People go to Blackpool for the experience. It's not necessarily for any other reason. The reason it's such a large magic convention is people want to go for other reasons beyond who's going to be there and what the dealer room's going to be selling. And I think that a lot of magic conventions are going to die out in the next few years unless they pull the finger out and actually start marketing these things properly. At least that's in my opinion. Okay, so let's very quickly talk about products that have come out, and these are not products that I'm reviewing. I'm not reviewing these. These are things that have just popped up on my radar over the last week. I've watched the trailer. I've read the ad copy, and they look interesting. So there's a few this week. First of all, I want to mention Dippy Duck from Smoky Mountain. I mentioned this before, but Thea's got this Dippy Duck act, which is great, and Dippy Duck has always been hit and miss for me, mainly because it doesn't work very well, and I've never found one that works. Smoky Mountain Dippy Duck works brilliantly every single time. He's got a little blindfold, he looks great. If you're after a Dippy Duck, Smoky Mountain Dippy Duck is incredible, and like I said, the UK stockist of that is Tricked Magic. Now, you've also got three shoelaces by Quack Teen Thran, and there's no video trailer for this. There's just ad copy, which is a shame, because the ad copy makes this sound brilliant. The pitch is, it's a cross between Professor's Nightmare and 5-card repeat, but with rope. And immediately that makes me go, oh my God, that sounds brilliant. So there's no trailer, but it's inexpensive, 3 shoelaces. It might be worth having a look at that. Also, Don't Blink by Yavan Gami, gone straight into the #1 slot at Vanishing Ink. Don't Blink is a very inexpensive £30, probably about $35, but it's a torn and restored newspaper, and you can do it with anything. You get paper to do it with, and you get refills, but the ad copy says that you can do it with anything. Torn and restored paper has always been a great trick. It's one that I've done for years and years and years, and the best ones are very, very expensive. So if this holds up, if this is good, then it's a very inexpensive way to do an absolute classic of Magic. You've also got coming out a coffee can, which effectively, the best way to describe it is a drawing duplication in a can of coffee. So you have a can of coffee and you show there's coffee granules in there, and you talk about coffee art and, putting logos and stuff into cappuccinos and lattes, and you show cards and they've all got different logos on them. You have them pick one, and then when they look in the can of coffee, in there, the image has appeared inside the grains of coffee. Very unique idea. I don't know how suitable it will be for table hopping, but it sounds, for social performers, brilliant. You can have that on the side in your kitchen, and people come round and you could show them that. I mean, it's definitely got legs. It's definitely an interesting idea. Karate Key has been bought out by myself and Seth Race. I have known Seth for years. Seth is an absolute genius. I love working on projects with him, and we've teamed up to create Karate Key, which is part of the Keymaster infrastructure. The basic idea behind Karate Key is that it is a karate coin routine. It's a karate coin routine, but with a key. And I've been doing this for a couple of years, and you'll see on the trailer the reactions that it gets is insane. I'm going to do a video about this at some point in the future, some point soon, but effectively it makes more sense to me, because with Karate Key, you've got a hole in the key already. So the effect is different to a karate coin. It's not a penetration, it's an expansion of the hole. And it's a great way to lead into Keymaster. It's a great standalone piece on its own, and I performed it as a standalone piece on the live performances. But if you do Keymaster, for example, and you do this first of all, and then lead into Keymaster, or lead into Gatekeeper, and then go into Key Cutter, all of them work together, which is fantastic. So Karate Key is awesome, and I cannot wait for you guys to see that. And also, we've managed to get the price very inexpensive. It's $20. It's like, what, 16 quid, something like that, which is very, very cheap, and it's one of my favorite routines to perform. I remember showing this to my friend Thomas. He was at a gig, and he saw me do it at a gig about a year and a half ago, and he's like, when's that coming out? And when he rang me when he saw the trailer drop, and he's like, I can't believe it, this looks amazing, I'm finally going to be able to get this. So Karate Key's cool. And then finally, probably the biggest release of the week is The Button by Chris James and Chow Miranda. Now, I was involved in this, and I was involved in actually putting the Button project together. So I created a lot of the routines. I went over to Portugal and filmed the tutorial. I did the live performances back over here in the UK. It's fantastic. A lot of people are saying Trick of the Year, and it very possibly could be Trick of the Year. Effectively, it's a mystery box built into what looks like a buzzer that you would rip off the desk of an AGT judge. The reason that's cool is because it's a little bit like my Magic Button routine from Penguin, in that it's a mystery box, and it's, by the way, the best mystery box you'll ever see, but they don't realise that a card's going to be there. A lot of the time when you bring out a mystery box, they know that something's going to appear inside there. They're just waiting for that moment. With the Button, they don't realise anything's going to go in there. They think it's just a presentational MacGuffin. And yet when you show at the end that the card's in there, it's next level. Also, it's remote controlled and electronic, so you can make the sound go on and off at will. So you can do lie detector routines, you can do truth and dare style routines, and to be honest, it's more than just a card to impossible location. There's mentalism routines. There's a ton of stuff that you can do with this Button. It is a really cool prop. I mentioned this on Magicians Only, but It's kind of weird. I get asked quite a lot to appear on other people's projects. I mentioned that I'm doing I'm doing the trailer for Poison 2 at the moment. I'm on this. This took me days to do. Days, literally. But I say days. It took me days to do the filming and the live performances. It took me months to put the routines together. Just recently from Alakazam, Cube Mix, I was on Cube Mix. Just appeared on Seth Race's Karate Key. Like, I go on a lot of people's projects, and so many people ask me to go on their projects, and I typically will say no to about 90% of them just because I haven't got the time. But I do like appearing on other people's projects. I do like helping work on those projects. And if I say yes, I put 1000% in. And anyone who's got the button will know that. I think it's like a 4 or 5 hour tutorial, and I insisted on doing studio performances of every trick. I then went out and got loads of live performances as well. And one of the reasons I did all of that is I wanted to make sure that people got an incredible tutorial to go along with a super awesome trick. I've been a bit down in the dumps the last week because I've seen a few people online go, "Oh, Craig's on another project. Why is he on another project?" Look, I know I'm always going to get people who tell me I'm not their cup of tea. Excuse me, for whatever reason. I'm not your cup of tea. Which frustrates me because all I do is I sit here and I make content for magicians. I make content on absolutely everything and anything to do with magic, and I do that, and I try my best to put as much good into the magic community as I can. And it frustrates me when I see people going, why is Craig Petty attached to this project? It can be frustrating sometimes. All I can say is, I go on those projects because I'm asked to, and I could be appearing on an awful lot more of them, but I choose not to. But I feel like I give value to any project that I actually do go on to, and if I don't, I'm very, very sorry. I know a lot of people don't like me for whatever reason, and I've learned at this point that I can't change that. All I can do is do the best that I can do. All I can do is sit here and continue to create content. Like I say, it's now 6 o'clock. I've been talking for almost an hour. I've been filming this since 5 o'clock in the morning because that's the only time I'm going to be able to do this. I didn't want you guys to not have a magic news. Tomorrow morning I'm going to be filming crack of dawn as well because I've got a very busy week, but I don't want to let anyone down. That's always been my attitude. My attitude is I'm going to put 100% in, or I'm not going to do it at all. And as long as I continue to do this YouTube channel, as long as I continue to be actively involved in the magic community, I'm going to go all in because there's no other way I can do this. And for the people that don't particularly like me, for the people that say that I'm not a particularly nice person, and I've had that. I posted on Magicians Only the other day about a few frustrations, and somebody said, "Hey, well, be better, be a better person. You've got an issue." It's like, okay, I don't know how to be a better person. I'm trying my absolute best. I'm working my arse off at giving back to this community. If that's not good enough, I don't know what else I can do. I don't even know why I talked about that. Look, all you need to know is the button is bloody good, and you can get it immediately from all the magic dealers. So there you go, guys. That's another magic news in the bag. Thank you once again for joining me. If you didn't see the 5x5 from yesterday, please go and check it out. If you haven't already joined the Netrix, please do so. We've just uploaded 5 new tricks, and they are awesome. And I have the best coin trick that I have ever created, getting uploaded onto the next upload of the Netrix, and also the lottery routine that everyone's been waiting for. That's going up on the next upload as well. So if you haven't joined the Netrix, please do so. Go to thenetrix.com. You can get access immediately. Outside of that, I want to say thank you for joining me on this Magic News. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you again soon. My name's Craig, and you've been watching Magic TV.